Hey dope family, it's your girl Miss Kisa, and I wanted to do a video. First of all, Happy New Year. Before we go any further, Happy New Year. And I wanted to do a video talking to you about the energy of the year 2024. So when it comes to 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. We are in an 8th year, and in numerology, 8 deals with prosperity, it deals with money, it deals with our confidence, our inner strength. It also deals with success, having a high social status, the number 8. But when it comes to astrology, and I did a video on this back in November, we are dealing with Saturn, the planet Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is the planet of karma. It is the planet of discipline, authority. It is also the planet of our status. And it's kind of like, when it comes to the energy of planet Saturn, it's like a father or a father figure. You know, they give tough love when needed, and they give you reward when you have worked for it and you have shown that you are worthy of this reward through your actions, right? So with Saturn currently being in the part of the sky known as Pisces, Pisces is about our dreams and goals. It's about the subconscious. It's about death, life after death. It's about lying, theft, hospital, jail. It's about, being deceitful, right? So with Saturn in Pisces right now, you are being held accountable for being dishonest, being deceitful, things that you thought were hidden. Pisces energy deals with secrets. So whatever you have done in the dark, in secret, and it was done out of maliciousness, it could be exposed. And this previous video that I did, I was talking about, we will see a lot of celebrities and people in authority, such as government, being exposed for things they probably thought that they would get away with. Pisces deals with celebrity, fame. Specifically, it deals with people that work in film, music, television. Saturn is about, like I said, authority. It's about government. So we will continue to see more people in the entertainment industry, in government, getting exposed for things that they were doing in the dark. This energy will affect us until 2026. So we have a couple more years to go. So as it relates to you, some people don't believe in karma. Seeing as how I have my Saturn in Virgo, which is a very tough placement, I do believe in karma. And sometimes I believe that I am paying for the karma of other people. Okay, things that don't even have anything to do with me. And or I am paying for karma for a past life, right? So I had to learn at a very young age that it doesn't really benefit me to lie or to be deceitful or, to hurt people maliciously or to just, have any type of malicious intention. And so when I got into astrology, I, learned about the importance of Saturn and how it can affect our karma, or how it can affect us getting the life, the status, the money, the prosperity that we need and want. You could be made very aware of what it is that is in your way. One way to make sure that your money is good for this year, your prosperity, your abundance, and all of that is good, is that, you know, you form a deep connection with God, or whoever you call God, the universe, whatever deity you have a relationship with. Now is the time to form a strong connection with your higher power. Pisces deals with, you know, some people feel that Pisces is the energy of Jesus. I feel that it is the energy of the Most High, because it is the very last sign of the zodiac, and so it encompasses all of the energy of the other 11 zodiac signs. That's just my opinion. So when it comes to getting, you know, what it is that you want for this year, there are a couple of things that you can do. One is just that you just act in a decent manner. You know, you don't do things out of maliciousness. You are truthful, you're honest, you go out into the world with integrity. You pray. One thing that can help you is if you give back, and that you don't do these things just because you think it's going to erase any bad karma or any, you know, karmic debt that you have right now. Do it from a place that is really sincere and genuine. And of course, you know, if you didn't already, you can sage yourself, you can sage your home. This is patchouli sage. And so let me explain what this is. I make these myself. I posted a video on my Instagram showing I'm putting the oil, the patchouli oil, on here. So sage is all about clearing. It's all about resetting your energy and or the energy of your home. Patchouli is an herb of Saturn. It is a very it's an herb that is used for protection. So as you are clearing out negative energy, things that no longer serve you, you know, maybe the energy of something that you've done out of malicious intent, getting rid of things that have been thrown at you out of malicious intent, you'll want to sage that away. And when you sage, you want to make sure that you crack a window so that energy can leave your home. Patchouli is going to protect anything good that you have coming in. And also, this particular sage, I have charged it to protect your home, protect your body and your family and your friends from physical harm, to protect your tangible items, you know, your tangible items like your car, the possessions inside of your home, anything that you create. You know, there are a lot of people out here that have malicious intent, and they will steal your ideas, they will steal your content. So this has been charged with that type of energy. I sell this in my store. The link will be in the description box. Also, incense. So we have smoke, fire. We have incense. I love the way this smells. I don't know if you can see that. Karma incense. This smells so good. And again, we're working with Saturn energy this year for the next couple of years. So you will always want to have herbs and scents that relate to the planet Saturn to help you get rid of any blocks that you have going on in your life right now. Okay, this is a good incense to have. I also sell this on in my store as well. This year is all about clearing the blockages, and a lot of times the blockages that we experience are not from other people. It's from things that we have done, things that we have said. A crystal that is also related to Saturn is obsidian. Again, this is a good protection stone. It's all about protecting what you have and protect the abundance and wealth that you have coming in, okay? It's very important. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, I have an altar devoted to Saturn because, like I said, my Saturn placement isn't the best. It's really not in my birth chart. So I decided to devote an altar to Saturn. A stone of Saturn is obsidian. This is on my altar as well. Lead is an element for Saturn. Lead is something that you can give as an offering to Saturn. It can be something as simple as the lead in a pencil. If you can see that, like, you know, put lead on your altar. Some people have like really pretty semi-expensive pencils that they put on their altar. Or you can do what I do, crystal, something like this, if you can see that. This is a crystal figurine that is made out of lead, and it is for the planet Saturn. It has the planet Saturn in there. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. If you want to form a relationship with Saturn, I would suggest that you, hold on, let me get a book. Okay, so this book right here, Planetary Magic, if you can see that, this is by Denning and Phillips, right? I have had this book for a couple of years. If you're someone who's just starting on your journey learning more about astrology, which I highly recommend. If you are someone who is new on their journey as far as like rituals, spell work, conjuring, this is a book that is very helpful. It's like a textbook, so you're not really going to understand what all is in here when it comes to the different planets. But it is a good textbook to have, because when you are on this journey, you will be given little pieces of information at a time. And slowly over time, it will start to make sense to you, right? So when it comes to Saturn, Saturn is about, like I said, karma. It is about the fathers, our father figures in our life. It's about time. It's also about tough love, right? So you can set up an altar by just simply putting out a cup of black coffee with the symbol of Saturn. You can also set out the obsidian crystal. And I always recommend that if you are going to do, you know, spell work, rituals, which is not, you know, anything evil or black magic or anything like that, when you're conjuring, you actually use verses from the Bible. Some people use verses from the Kabbalah. Not the Kabbalah, the Quran. People also incorporate the Kabbalah. But basically, rituals and spell work is good because you got to protect yourself spiritually. You can protect yourself physically, but you got to protect yourself spiritually. Forming a relationship with God, forming a relationship with your deities, which are the physical manifestations of planets, is what you need to do. Okay? So when it comes to also protecting yourself this year and helping to usher in good luck, you need to find out what your Saturn placement is. Find out what your Saturn placement is. You can do that for free. You do not need to know your birth time. You can go to astro.com, plug in your information. You will find out what your Saturn is. Based on what your Saturn zodiac sign is, that is the energy that you need to take on this year to usher in and to protect whatever good things that you have coming. So I'm going to go down the list, right? Let me get some water. Okay, so starting with Saturn in Aries. So if you have Saturn in Aries, this is about, you're meant to motivate people. You're meant to be active. You're meant to Aries is the alpha. You're meant to like be the example of what to do and what not to do. That is the energy that you are supposed to encompass. And I know that it's hard for some Aries because, and I know y'all gonna get mad, and that's cool. A lot of you all, if you are acting in your low vibrational energy as an Aries sun and or rising, you can be a little immature. You can be a little impatient. You can be a little messy, right? So with this, you are supposed to stand in your leadership. You're supposed to be the example. So if you want to make sure that not only you attract abundance, but you keep it, if your Saturn is in Aries, that is the energy that you are supposed to take on for the next 2 years specifically. If your Saturn is in Taurus, Taurus is about self-worth. It's about the voice. It's about wealth, having nice things, being soft, also being very organized, setting a routine for yourself, and also getting things done. Every Taurus I know, they set a routine, they get it done, they're successful. Taurus people I know, a lot of them, you know, they have nice things, but it's not necessarily about the quantity, it's about the quality. So you need to make sure that you have quality in your life, quality people, quality relationships. It's okay if you kind of splurge on things that you need that are of good quality. So good bed sheets, good linens, a good winter coat, a good, you know, it's wintertime, a good boot. Yeah, it may cost you a little bit more money, but you want things of quality that will last. This is the type of energy that you need to take on this year to not only attract abundance, but keep it. What else about Taurus? I love Taurus energy because I'm a Taurus moon. Also see things through. You know, don't leave things unfinished if you have your Saturn in Taurus. Taurus people, they're really sticklers about, you know, finishing things, seeing things through. Sometimes that also means that they stay in situations that have ran its course. But yeah, that is the energy that you need to take on as a Taurus. If your Saturn is in Gemini, Gemini is all about communication. It's about the way we process information. It's also about those relationships that you've had for years with people that you've known since you were a child. It's also about learning the basics of something and excelling in that. So that is the energy that you need to take on. If it's something that you really want to do, learn everything that you can about it. Become an expert. Do not cut corners this year. Be sure that you communicate clearly what it is that you want. Be sure that you communicate your boundaries as well. Also, be fair. Don't play both sides of the fence. You know, don't be one way to this person. You know, in other words, don't be fake. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So that is the energy that you need to encompass as a Saturn and Gemini person if you want to attract abundance and keep it. Next, we have Saturn in Cancer, right? So Saturn in Cancer is all about having the authority over house and home and security. Do you make people feel safe? Do you make people feel secure? Do you have this authentic, nurturing vibe to you? Okay. Cancer is also moon energy, which is the way we react and respond to the world around us. How do you react and respond to people? Specifically, how do you react and respond when you don't get your way if you have Saturn in Cancer? This is soft, feminine energy. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman, but it is about manifestation energy. You do that by not being forceful, not being controlling. You allow things to flow. You also allow things to flow to you. And so if you take on that type of energy for the next couple of years, this is how you invite abundance into your life, and this is how you keep it. Next, we have Saturn in Leo. Leo is the showman, okay? It is the performer. It is also the leader, and they lead through creative expression. They lead through delegating. They also are very loyal, and so this is about giving other people opportunities. If you are in a position of authority or power, are you helping other people? When you get to a certain level, are you reaching back out to other people? Are you reaching out to your community? Are you, Leo, it deals with fifth house energy. Are you creating more wealth and opportunity for others and just not yourself? So those are some things to consider if you have Saturn in Leo. This is how you attract abundance, and this is also how you keep abundance as a Saturn in Leo. Saturn in Virgo, this is what I have, right? So Virgo energy is the helper. You know, it's the person that helps people. It's the person that not only, if Taurus sets the routine, Virgo is the one that follows the routine and perfects it. And they do that by being very disciplined. Okay, I struggle with discipline. My Saturn is in Virgo. I struggle with discipline. I struggle with being consistent. I'm just being transparent. I struggle with setting a healthy routine for myself when it comes to, you know, diet, exercise. I'm not consistent with that. Those are some things that I personally struggle with. So in order for me to welcome this abundance and to keep the abundance, I really have to get on the ball and change the way that I operate and maneuver right now. Virgo energy is all about giving service to other people. So just I want to definitely get into volunteer work. I'm the type of person where I don't really like to be hands-on, you know, when it comes to like helping people in a good cause. I would rather give money or offer some type of talent. I don't necessarily like, I'm kind of like a hermit. I like to stay to myself. But I know that in order for me to have the type of life and success that I want, I really need to get out of my shell and get out and network with people. Get out and be more involved in my community, which is what I plan to do this year. So if you have Saturn in Virgo, that is the energy that you need to take on this year and next year to invite abundance and to keep the abundance in your life. Next, we have Saturn in Libra. Okay, Libra is Venus energy. It is about relationships, but more so it's about not just romantic relationships, but the relationship that we have with just, you know, the people in our life. And that could be our professional relationships. It's also about how we manage stress, how we manage difficult situations. So you should be managing difficult situations with grace. Again, Libra is the Venus energy. You should be trying to be relatable. You shouldn't try to cause conflict and drama and chaos. You should also be aware that what you do and say, although it may not come from a malicious place, but if you, Libra, one of the things that people don't like about Libra energy is that sometimes a Libra will not be forthcoming or not be honest about what it is that they want. And They will, sometimes they'll volunteer themselves for something they don't even want to do, or they have an issue with telling people no. And so they can get themselves in a situation where they just won't show up. They're being labeled as, you know, you can't depend on Libra to do this. That is not the energy that you want to do, you want to have for the next couple of years. You have to mean what you say and say what you mean. It's okay if you turn people down. It's okay if you turn people down. It's okay if, you know, you don't want to associate with someone because the two of you are not on the same page. The two of you are not vibing. It's okay. It's how you handle people, you know. Libra energy is always about, not always, Libra energy is about contracts and agreements. Are you agreeing to something that's really fair? You know, are you standing up for yourself? These are things that you really need to think about, and this is the energy that you need to take on this year if you want to invite abundance into your life. You know, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and say what it is that you want. You know, don't agree to do something and you really don't want to do it, and you end up being resentful towards people or dropping the ball when people were depending on you. Okay, next we have Saturn in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is 8th house energy, which is all about secrets, privacy, things that are private, things that we don't want people to know, things that we rather not talk about. It's also about taxes, the money that we get from other people. It's also about transformation and death and how we handle these unexpected changes that come up. So when it comes to unexpected changes and you have Saturn in Scorpio, how do you act? How do you handle yourself? You know, Scorpio energy is about the flip side of Mars energy, right? So Aries is ruled by Mars, and then Scorpio is also ruled by Mars on the flip side, on the dark side of Mars. Do you always want to get a clap back? Do you always have to get revenge when something doesn't go your way? Do you always feel like someone is out to get you, or do you always walk around with this paranoid feeling? I have a lot of Scorpio energy myself, and one thing I can say, especially if we're young and we haven't learned how to manage our emotions, we could sometimes we want to hold, we can like make the most stupidest, smallest thing private. For an example, I used to be friends with a Scorpio, and she would make this really bomb seafood salad, like potato salad. And I tried to make it. I couldn't get it to make it the way that she did. And I was like, okay, it gotta be something. What, you're not telling me everything that's in this recipe. What is it? And it was something as simple as onion. And it wasn't the fact that onion was in it. It was how she diced it up. She diced it up really fine and put it in the I ain't even had my microphone on. I hope y'all heard me. But she didn't even have, it was the way that she diced up the onion really, really finely. And that was like very sacred to her. You know, someone, I'm not a Scorpio sun, but someone like me, you know, it's like, that's it? Onion? You know? And so it's like, are you holding on, or are you holding something so tight to your chest that it's kind of silly? Is that what's causing a rift between you and someone? Or for, you know, it could also be a pride thing. Is pride getting in the way of you living the type of life you want to live? Do you not like change? Scorpio is about detaching. The opposite of Scorpio is Taurus. Taurus is about attaching. I don't know, but anyway, you you really have to come to a conclusion where it's okay to, like, not necessarily wear your heart on your sleeve, but to show your emotion, to let people in. Everybody is not out to get you. And if you block a lot of people out of your life, if you have Saturn in Scorpio, you're blocking your abundance. And you could also be hindering not only more abundance from coming in, but you could also lose abundance as well. So Saturn in Scorpio, that is the energy that you need to take on this year in order to have abundance. It is letting go. Everything is not that deep. Even though it may feel that deep to you, everything is not that serious. You can't expect people to act and respond the way that you would. Because sometimes the way you would react and respond, being a Scorpio, especially if you are a Scorpio rising, it could come from a place of trauma. Okay, so next we have Saturn in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about freedom. It's about traveling. Not necessarily physical traveling, but it's also about traveling in your mind. You know, sometimes as a Sagittarius sun, if I don't want to deal with something, I just immediately tune out. I'll block you out. I could be looking at you dead in your face while you're talking to me and just tune you out and won't be paying attention. That's kind of what we do when we don't want to deal with anything. You shouldn't do that this year. You know, you should treat people with respect. And if it's something that you don't want to take on, if it's something that you don't want to entertain, you need to verbalize that. Sagittarius energy is about expression. Okay. Leo is about creative expression. Sagittarius is about expressing communication. So, you know, if Gemini is the person that writes an article, Sagittarius is the one that will verbalize the article. Sagittarius is the one that will publish the article in a newspaper or online so that you can read it. Sagittarius will be the one that edits the article so that everyone can get it and understand it. So as a Saturn in Sagittarius, that is what you need to do. That is, you need to make sure that what you are saying is not only being heard, but it's being understood. You don't need to be vague. You need to, it's okay to attach yourself to a cause. It's okay to attach yourself to a person, even if it's in a romantic relationship. If you have Saturn in Sagittarius and Jupiter is being here, you may also feel like you have bad karma. You may feel that you don't have the freedom to move around physically or emotionally. Some of you could be in situations where, you know, you feel that you have to stay in this city. You feel that you have to stay in this town, in this state, and you don't. Get out, explore, you know, meet new people, meet people outside of your comfort zone, meet people who are a different race than you, meet people who have a different culture than you, meet people who have a different religion than you. Open your horizons, expand your horizon, because again, Sagittarius is Jupiter energy. It's all about expanding. It's all about making something bigger. Okay, that's the energy you need to take on if you have Saturn in Sagittarius. Next, we have Saturn in Capricorn, which is basically double energy of karma and authority, right? So as a Saturn in Capricorn, you may feel like, some of you may feel like people don't take you seriously. Some people, you may feel like there's always people telling you what to do. You can't do what you want to do. You can't express what you want to express. You really have to work extra hard to prove yourself. Kind of like Saturn and Virgo. With Saturn and Virgo, I have to be more disciplined. I have to be more consistent. With Saturn and Capricorn, you just have to do the work. And you may have to be the person to initiate starting a business. You may be the person that has to take the initiative to make something better, to make it more stable, to make it more grounded. Some of you may not know how to do that. And so if you don't, the best way you can do that is to take on leadership skills, learn how to delegate, learn how to network, learn how to associate with people who are already doing what you want to do. Be a good, well, you could be a good servant in your community. But with this, you really have to lead with integrity. You can't be shady. You can't be shysty. You can't be greedy. If you do that, that's instant karma. So if you have Saturn and Capricorn and you wonder, okay, you know, where's my stuff? Where's my abundance? How do you live? How do you treat people? Okay, you really have to be like really truthful and honest when it comes to your Saturn placement. So yeah, if you have Saturn and Capricorn, that's what you need to do. And so next we go to Saturn in Aquarius. So Aquarius is first of all, every Aquarius that I know, like, they're not really a sociable person, but they're very friendly and they attract a lot of friends, right? So, with Saturn ruling boundaries and wisdom, authority, practicality, if you have Saturn in Aquarius, you need to really become confident in your dreams, your goals. Aquarius energy is also about humanitarian energy. What do you do in your community? What are you doing to help elevate your community, or what are you doing to help make this world a better place? Charity starts at home. You know, if you have Saturn in Aquarius and your home life is not the greatest, it's not peaceful, it's chaotic, start there. Start with your family. What can you do to help the people in your family? And it's not about money. Sometimes it's about, as an Aquarius, you know, can you help your grandmama run errands? Can you bring her dinner? You know, can you help your cousin babysit once or twice a month? It's being of service. It's being a humanitarian. And so Saturn in Aquarius, that is how you attract abundance, and that is how you keep it. And what else? Oh, Aquarius energy is very innovative. Okay. So is there something when it comes to being a humanitarian and helping your community and stuff like that? Is there something that you feel could be better? What innovative ideas do you have that could turn something around in a positive way? Okay, so those are things to think about for the next couple of years if you have Saturn in Aquarius. Last but not least, we have Saturn in Pisces, right? So this is the current transit that we are in currently. Okay, we are currently in the Saturn in Pisces transit, and so I touched on that in the beginning. You gotta lead with integrity. You can't be shady. Okay, you can't. Your vices. You got to get control of your vices, drugs, sex, alcohol, anything that is not productive. You have got to take control over that. You've got to stop acting and doing things that are not productive, right? You've also got to be very realistic. And with Saturn here, you got to be realistic again. If this is something that is helpful, is this something that is useful? Is this something that is productive? Am I hurting someone by my own selfish needs and wants? And it's not about putting people before you. It's just about having like that God-like energy. Like I touched on before, you know, that Jesus energy, that God energy, that universal energy. Am I doing something that's productive or not productive? Okay, so if you have Saturn in Pisces, that is what you need to do. You also need to repent and take accountability for anything that you've done out of maliciousness. Anything that your vices have made you do out of maliciousness. Anything that your vices have made you do. So did you do something when you were drunk? Did you say something when you were intoxicated? Did you say something or do something when you were under the influence? Are you allowing your demonic desires to control you? You know, those are some things that you need to think about. You have to lead with integrity right now. And if you've been caught up in something, you've got to take responsibility and show accountability for it. And that's the hard thing. This is not an easy placement. This is also not an easy transit for the rest of us either. So again, I hope this was helpful. This is Saturn and Pisces and how your individual Saturn placements can help you to attract abundance this year for 2024. But yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and helping me to grow my channel. So let's go down in the comments and talk about it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have. All right. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next one.